to learn a new language? Perhaps you want to improve your French. If that is the case, Vanier College's Language School has seen a significant growth of its language programs, particularly French. Joining me is Gregory DeLuca. He is the Director of Continuing Education and Community Services. Good morning, Gregory, and welcome to the show.
Good morning, Laura. Thanks for having me. Pleasure to be here this morning.
So, first off, give us maybe a bit of background on the Vanier Language School and its mission.
Yeah, great question. Thanks. So the Vanier Language School has been in operation for several decades. It's a bit younger than me, but I'm going to say it's been about 3 decades. And Vanier College itself prides itself on the diversity of its student body and of its faculty. And so that's really just a hallmark of Vanier College, just the diverse representation that we have on campus. And what better example to kind of celebrate and showcase that diversity than our language school that's been in operation for a very, very long time. In a world with increasing division, we seem to be building more and more walls going forward. We need to be building bridges together. And so I think that our language school at Vanier really celebrates that diversity, but also encourages it.
I love that. On that note, tell us a bit more about how it's grown over the past 30 years, the popularity of the language courses. And, speaking of building bridges, I have to ask about the demand for French classes, of course.
Sure. I think post-pandemic, primarily, I think people are looking to make a connection, and what better way than to use languages to do so. So I think that's one major, effect of recent years. And again, I think, with recent measures that have been put in place for particular students, such as Anglophone students or Allophone students going through colleges in both professional programs like ACS programs in continuing education or even DCS programs, there are new requirements for graduation. And so that has led, it's no surprise that has led to an increase in demand for French courses from our English and Allophone students who now have graduation requirements. Now, this is a good thing in a sense, because we are, again, leveraging the power that is Canada and Montreal to learn languages and be able to integrate into the workplace in Canada and Quebec effectively as a bilingual worker, even a trilingual worker. And that is really the strength of Vanier graduates. These are students that leave the college, of course, with a third, second, and of course, their first language, sometimes even a fourth language. And so it makes sense that Vanier has this language school at its heart that is all about exchange, learning from others, and what better way to learn about other cultures and other people than through languages.
Mm-hmm. I have to ask, there was so much uncertainty, of course, when Law 14 came into effect, of course, stemming from Bill 96 and, changing some of the eligibility requirements for CEGEP students. Have you seen the effects of that fallout? How are things going?
I think we're in a transition period right now where these new requirements are becoming more and more clear to the students. We've been very busy in continuing education at Vanier to communicate these requirements, to inform students when they apply and they join a program that they are now required to pass an intermediate level French test in order to get their diploma. Now, on one side, this is a good thing for the student to develop their ability in French and to work in Quebec. On the other, it's an increased burden, I'm going to say, on particular students who were, mildly blindsided by this. Students that may have started their studies a year ago, 2 years ago, and when these measures came into place, of course, new pressures were added. Now, for graduates, this is a good outcome, but, of course, there are extra pressures now. And so we aim to support them as best we can with a number of language programs and corollary services.
And, speaking of pressure, I want to talk a bit about the financial pressures that some individuals may be facing. You actually are offering, several individuals the opportunity perhaps to get these language courses for free. We're going to end on that note. So tell us more about that, Gregory.
Yes, thanks, Laura. Yeah, so, another hallmark of Vanier College, above and beyond its diversity, is also our desire to be inclusive and provide accessibility to those who otherwise might not have it. So for the first time in its history, the Vanier Language School will be offering this winter 3 free spots in its part-time evening conversation classes. So if you, otherwise could not join for financial difficulties and or other, we'd love to hear from you. send us your story at languages at vaniercollege.qc.ca. Check our website and you will find the address, the email address to email our language school. Send us a very brief little story as to why you'd like a class, how it would help you in in your future, and why you have been unable to join in the past or for whatever reason. And we'll take a deep look and we'll be responding to individuals with those three free spots within the next few weeks.
That is fantastic. So languages school at vaniercollege.qc.ca. Good luck to all.